Fashion has always been a powerful statement, but before celebrities and influencers started setting trends, royals have been the ones who set the standard for what was stylish. From their extravagant gowns down to their minimalistic power suits, kings and queens throughout history have shaped the way we dress today. So today I was like, you know what? Let's take a break from our educative content and touch on fashion a little, history of fashion or some fashion history. So today I would love for you to join me as we uncover how royals changed fashion forever. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing fine and the winter isn't so cold and aggressive wherever you are. Welcome back once more. If you're new here, you can go through my channel. There are lots and lots of content for you to get to know my content, and enjoy yourself, indulge in the content. And while you're at it, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and join the gang, so you get more videos every week unfailingly every Fridays by 4 p.m. European Standard Time. But yeah guys, welcome back to my channel. For today, in light of let's touch some topics in fashion, or let's dive into fashion for a bit, I was like, you know what, let's talk about how royals have influenced fashion. Because when I watch series, especially the Victorian era series, you can tell that some of the things we do today, how we dress in respect to fashion, has been an inspiration from the royals, especially when it comes to the Romans and other royals as well, but especially the Romans, British, all of that. Today we're going to be diving into how royals influence fashion. It begins in the Renaissance and the power of luxury era. That will be the 1500s to the 1600s. And in the 1500s, looking rich was just as important as being rich. And we have royals like Queen Elizabeth I, King Henry VIII, that made fashion become a symbol of power for royals. And if you're talking about the 1500s, 1600s, think rough colors, think gold embroidery, think extravagant pearls. And in that era, if you're not looking as a walking work of art, were you even royals? And it just got me thinking that that's an era that I feel I would love to experience, just for this fact that if you're not even looking like a work of art, are you even royals? And this is me telling myself that if I was in that era, I would have been a royal, just for the fashion sense. But anyways, let's touch on some of the influence on fashion from the 1500s and the 1600s, especially in regards to Queen Elizabeth I and King Henry VIII. They influenced heavy brocade fabrics, lace, corsets, and also the rough colors. I'm going to leave a picture. It was a trend back then and it signified I'm powerful, but I probably can't breathe. I'll leave a picture for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. But then we move into the 1700s. That's the era of excess, and we have royals like Marie Antoinette. When they talk about a royal or a queen who literally they said go home or go big, she was the definition of go home or go big. She's defined extra. She made a spectacle of fashion, and she was into towering powdered wigs. She was into extravagant ball gowns as well. And for this Marie Antoinette, if I would say, imagine Bridgerton, that's very big, long, high wig, and then the expensive or extravagant silk gowns. The queen in Bridgerton, if I may picture that here, you have a good idea of what Marie Antoinette stood for. And guys, a little fun fact, or did you know that the budget for her wardrobe could feed an entire small country? That is so crazy and fascinating to me. Talk about a woman who is obsessed with fashion. And then her influence for fashion would be the corsets and also the extravagant silk gowns, as I mentioned earlier on. She also influenced pastel colors, luxurious silk, lace, and also statement wigs, and implying the bigger the better. Like I said, imagine Bridgerton, the queen in Bridgerton, the wigs, that era. She had a huge influence. And when I was talking about, or when I was researching this topic, I went down a rabbit hole about Queen Marie Antoinette, and it's just so fascinating how her life played out. Unfortunately, she died at the age of 37, but the story revolving her death, it has something to do with incest, and she was murdered. Although according to the story, it was said that she stood on her grounds of integrity. So guys, it's just so fascinating how, and to think that she came into court at the age of 15 years, and her husband, King Henry the Seventh, if I'm not mistaken, died and made her the queen. And it kind of give me an idea as to why she has such a ridiculous budget for wardrobe, you know. And it just got me thinking that that's gold, you know, because that's literally the queen of extra, and that's goals. But although I feel like that should be on your own money, your budget, you know. But yeah, that's about it. Anyways, let's move on to the 1800s. And for this 1800s, the era came with modesty and elegance, and we have royals like Queen Victoria to thank for, because she did a 180 on fashion. She embraced modesty, or she made modesty a trend. She was rocking high necklines, long sleeves, and also the white wedding dress. Yes guys, you heard me right. Before Queen Victoria, any bride could wear whatever color or clothes she chose before Queen Victoria. And I spoke about that in one of my videos titled The Origin of White Wedding Dresses. I'm going to leave it towards the end of the video. Give it a watch if you haven't. But yeah, white wedding dress, we still rock and enjoy it till date. It was influenced by Queen Victoria, and she influenced fashion in other ways, like just as we said, the white wedding dress. She also influenced corsets being tighter than usual, and also the morning dress, which is black. It became more fashionable. Now we move to the 1900s, the 90s. Fashion was no longer just a symbol of power for the royals, but instead royals became fashion icons. Here you heard me right. In the 90s, royals became global fashion icons, and we had royals like Grace Kelly. Her style was so timeless that MS named a bag after her. That Kelly bag, you guys always, or you girls always hear of. I'm sure a number of girls have that bag on their bucket list. But anyway, if you hear the Kelly bag, it was inspired by Grace Kelly, a royal. And of course, we can't forget Princess Diana, a true fashion rebel. She turned the royal dress code upside down. She ditched gloves, she wore off-shoulder gowns, and she even wore biker shorts. You know, so the influence for this generation would be, like I said, the Kelly bag. Now almost every girl desires to own a Kelly bag. So yeah, thanks to royals like Grace Kelly that we have the bags called Kelly bag. Imagine, since the 90s, we're in 2025, and so many women still desire to own a Kelly bag. Other influence will be the Diana effect. Women worldwide copy Diana. And also royals embrace minimalism, that is simple, elegant outfits. Then we move to current generation. Today's royals, we have Kate Middleton, Meghan Markle, and other modern royals. And for today, royals keep redefining fashion. And if we're talking about these days, or the inspiration or the influence of royals on fashion today, think chic, elegant, effortless. We have like Kate Middleton, for example. Any outfit she wears sells out instantly. So yeah, they keep and they continue to influence fashion. And for this generation, their influence would be bringing back classic tailored fashion, and also sustainable and ethical fashion. So guys, from rough collars to white wedding dresses to extravagant ball gowns, royals have continued to inspire fashion as we know it today. And it just got me thinking that a movie like Gladiator 2, the character played by Denzel Washington, if you take note of him, his rings, his jewelry, the way he dresses is just so beautiful that it's like literally a walking work of art, you know. And it's really so fascinating, especially the Romans. We also have the Egyptians as well, the royals, like their hairstyle, their jewelries, you know. There are just so many aspects of fashion that was heavily influenced by royals. So the next time, remember, before you go about saying, oh, celebrities and influencers were the one who started setting trend, or perhaps you feel you're the one who started setting trends in fashion, it goes way back, all to royals. All thanks to the royals. They've had a huge and significant influence on fashion. And sometimes, especially watching, like I said, I'm such a huge fan of the Victorian era, so watching series, movies like that, when you see their royals, how they are dressed, how they are adorned, it's just so beautiful. And some of, especially when it comes to accessorizing, so many of the accessories still works in today's world, and we keep rocking them because of course it's beautiful, so yeah, I just thought for us to, touch a little bit on fashion and see how royals influence fashion, because even the style in Bridgerton is still really beautiful. But yeah, guys, let's move on to what I've been watching this week. So the first on my list for this week would be my normal shows I've been talking about. Tehran, I finally got to finish Tehran. Tehran was so interesting, very thrilling, very thrilling. They will keep you on anxiety watch 247. But I feel like the season 3 was somewhat dragged. Like the story got a bit boring, and it's like there were so many filler episodes. In my opinion, it's like we're just dragging what we already knew was going to happen. But nonetheless, Tehran is such an interesting TV series that if I have my way, I could watch it again. It's really interesting. Give it a watch if you haven't. The next would be SEAL Team. I mentioned this in case you're new here. This is a series I get to talk about every week. I get to share what I've been watching, what I've been listening with you guys. So the next would be SEAL Team. I've spoken about SEAL Team. Currently, I'm on season 3. I just said season 3, and the season 2, the last episode, guys, all of them on Bravo team shaved their beards because they were going to bury one of their colleagues that I think committed suicide, or they brought back. I think committed suicide. So for that reason, I'm thinking even their uniform for morning was different, where they had the program was different, and I think it's mandatory for them to shave. But that's one of the most funny scenes I've ever witnessed on TV. One of just so funny. Sonny and Clay, that's if you're watching it, Sonny and Clay, these two characters, they were the two that I could not recognize. Immediately after identifying them, I had to take it back to to some minutes before, because there was a particular scene where they were carrying the coffin of a fallen soldier, and I could not recognize the people there. I was just like, okay, I was able to recognize 2 people. That would be their chief master chief, Jason and Clay, and the rest I was like, okay, maybe they mixed them with some people. It was just such a fascinating, funny episode. If you haven't, give it a watch, and if you do, please let us know your thoughts in the comment section. But moving on, guys, the next on my list would be 0 Day. For this, you can find it on Netflix, but for SEAL Team and Tehran, you can find Tehran on, I think, Apple TV and also streaming platforms. You can find SEAL Team on streaming platforms as well. But for this 0 Day, you can find it on Netflix and I think other streaming platforms as well. But 0 Day, it's like it involves politics. Also, some of the story of things are not going well. The storyline along, there was a cyber attack on the country and they were threatening to do something, so the president had to bring the former president who resigned at some point to come help diffuse the issue. But in a way, the president was bringing the ex-president so that when there's a fallback, she's not the one who is affected by it, because she wanted to run for a second time in office, but when the story started developing, you come to find out that the ex-president had been poisoned by something very new, a neurological weapon that even he wasn't aware of, so there was just so much behind the scene, current, everything happening, and it was a lot, but eventually, it worked out. But it's a really interesting TV show. I think it's a what do they call it? Limit series, a bit limitless. It is a limited series, exactly, a limited series, but really interesting. Give it a watch, you're not going to regret it. And then the next would be Paradise. I spoke about this last week as well, and once more I will say I'm still angry. The anger from last week subsided, but after watching this week's episode, it has returned back, because sometimes, guys, when there's a revolution and someone has been able to take that step to try to go somewhere, to do something, to implement a change, it's not easy. It's never been easy. And without calculating very well, just rushing into doing things, or without thinking or letting your emotions, like, it can set you back by far, so bad in a negative way. Because right now, last week I told you guys that they were lying to him that the owner and the person in charge in the paradise in their new world is saying that she can locate his wife and all of that. And come to find it, she even has a recording of the wife where she made it. She was a survivor of outside world. I told you guys last week that according to the movie, outside, that's the world, is no longer habitable. So they are in a mountain, like a cave. They call it the paradise, and people there, they don't even know anything that is going on. And unfortunately, she happened to have a device, a recording of his wife saying she's alive and she's looking for him. She played it for him, and like I said, she was able to get a hold of his daughter. Children are, they don't listen, so now she has the upper hand, and she's telling him that if he should stop what he's doing right now, she'll be able to get him his wife, help him locate his wife and the rest. And at this point, it appears he's powerless. So imagine the anger that's for a revolution to take place, knowing that a revolution never comes easy. Even coup never comes easy. It takes a lot of strategizing, planning, just critical thinking and the rest. And it's just so sad, that for something that they would have been able to change, now they're having to go back, or having him to go back on his own, But yeah, that's about it. But non-regardless, it's interesting. You should give it a watch. Now let's move on to what I have been listening. If you're new to my channel, once more, I have a playlist titled Victoria's Playlist, where I get to share my playlist with you guys. These are songs that I listen to. This is a playlist I use on a daily. This is a playlist I use on a rare. And if you're thinking to yourself that, you know what, you don't want to use YouTube because there's a lot and lots of ads, I understand, guys. But the trick I figured out with YouTube is, let's say for the first 2 days, you're listening to songs, ads keep popping up. Eventually, you see that the song starts playing back to back without ads, or even when the ads pop up, you won't forget that ads pop up, So yeah, just give it a try. That's also a playlist I listen to, and it's not just Nigerian songs. I keep saying just Nigerian songs, but I realize that I have some from Tanzania, Ghana, and other places as well. So I would say there are a list of African songs. If you're into African songs, you're trying to get into African songs, but you don't know where to start from, this playlist will come in handy. I'm sure this playlist will come in handy. So yeah, just give it a listen and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you also have suggestions for me, feel free to let me know in the comment section as well. And for this week, I keep saying I'm going to create a new playlist for the other side. That's the international songs, the blues, the jams, and all of that. I've also made the playlist public as well. And for this one, I titled it Victoria's Playlist 2. So for the African songs is Victoria Playlist, and then for the songs that are not African is Victoria's Playlist 2. Give them a listen and let me know what you think. But for what I've been listening to this week, aside Morayo and Lungu Boy, the album I've been listening to, there's a new album by new EP, by Shea Vibe titled Children of Africa. I already added it to Victoria's Playlist. That is what I've been using to enjoy myself this past few days. And for the EP, especially Shaolin is just a song that has my heart, especially the beats. It's very different. And for this Shaolin, this beat especially, I can't help but constantly imagine Rema on the beat. I can see Rema singing, vibing on the beat. I can see him dancing, and all of that. It's a really, really, really interesting jam. Please tell me I'm not alone. When I listen to Shaolin by Shea Vibes, I can always, for every listen, the person that comes to my mind or the artist that comes to my mind is Rema, because I feel like that is his vibe, or that is something that he's going to chew or devour. Yeah, I've been listening to that album. And also Burna Boy also had a new release titled Update. That is also another song I have been vibing to, I like, and I can't wait for his album. He's the last artist, or I'll say my favorite artist to release albums so far. So yeah, I'm patiently and eagerly waiting for the release of the album. But yeah guys, let's move into our quote for this week. So guys, our quote for this week would be, being self-critical is constructive. It helps you to build the personal strength and efficiency needed for success. Blaming others is destructive. You gain absolutely nothing from proving that someone else is wrong. Be constructively self-critical. Don't run away from inadequacies. Be like the real professionals. They seek out their faults and weaknesses, then correct them. That's what makes them professionals. Don't, of course, try to find your faults so you can say to yourself, here's another reason I am a loser. Instead, view your mistakes as, here's another way to make me a bigger winner. The great Orville Hubbard once said, a failure is a man who has blundered but is not able to cash in on the experience. And yeah guys, just thought once more to leave you guys with these encouraging words, and once more to remind you that be it rough colors, white wedding dresses, extravagant ball gowns, minimalistic power suits, whichever it is, royals have had an influence on fashion. They've influenced how we dress today, and they've changed fashion forever. And yeah guys, let me know what era is your favorite in this trend. Which trend is it? The 1500s, the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s? Personally, I would love to experience the 1500s and the 1800s. The 1500s, because it is said that if you're not working as a work of art, are you even royal? I feel like that's something that tickles my fancy as a fashion enthusiast. But yeah, and also 1800s for the modesty and elegance. Let me know what is your favorite era and trend in the comment section. And yeah guys, thank you so much once more for joining me. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't. Like, share, subscribe, share with your friends, your loved ones, and if you're feeling generous, share on your social media platforms, and I will appreciate it. But yeah guys, thank you once more, and I'll see you guys next week.